listen, you are a vocal environmentalist. You are on the Interior Environment Subcommittee of the Appropriations Committee. What are your thoughts about the president's policies?
Well, the president's policy to say that we're going to back away from the agreements that President Obama made in the Paris Climate Accords, the Clean Power Plan rollback, all of that is beginning to make the United States a rogue nation when it comes to the international community and how we're going to combat climate change. So we're going to make sure, Democrats, that we move forward against all these climate deniers. One of the people that I'm going to be working with, Scott Pruitt, the head of the EPA, is part of his agency is scrubbing out wording to be used in the EPA that anything refers to climate change needs to be deleted.
All right, well, he himself has said for years he thought the EPA should be abolished. Now he's running it. I mean, what power does somebody like you that has been really vocal on a lot of environmental issues have?
Well, when it comes to the work that the EPA does, it touches everyone's life. And so if we care about clean, safe drinking water, if we want to make sure that we're not letting the Great Lakes catch on fire again, if we're going to make sure that the air that we breathe doesn't contribute to early death, the EPA all has a role in that. And I'm hearing from people who work on sewer and water treatment facilities all across the nation that they're very concerned about these deep, deep cuts to the EPA because they're not going to be able to provide for the public health.
Okay, of course, President Trump won running on this agenda, and he said specifically this is about jobs. Rolling back these regulations will help jobs, including here in Minnesota, areas like the Iron Range. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, the jobs that he's talking about and the photo op that he had with the coal miners, those jobs had been disappearing long before President Obama was even elected. With mountaintop mining, we could talk about the environmental catastrophe that's caused, but the mountaintop mining is all automated mining. Natural gas is a cleaner, cheaper source of energy, and that's what's caused the demise of coal. So are we going to look back, or are we going to move forward into what we can do to develop the technology and the jobs, the good paying jobs in the future, with putting our engineering skills to work and putting people to work installing wind and solar?
All right, after the defeat of the president's health care bill, he was tweeting and saying he was going to work with Democrats. Actually, just this morning now, he's saying that if anybody thinks the effort to repeal and replace Obamacare is dead, they're wrong. What are your thoughts about that, and what are you hearing from your constituents?
Well, you can tell the chaos that's going on in Washington. The president from day to day is, changing who he's blaming, who he's going to work with. People want stability in our government. But just on the health care, Minnesotans here, they get it. There are improvements that need to be made to the Affordable Care Act, reinsurance, some of the things that they're discussing here in the state of Minnesota. But people don't want to go backwards to women paying more because we happen to be mothers, people being excluded because of pre-existing conditions, not having an insurance policy where you can read one policy next to the other policy and clearly see what's being covered. People don't want to go backwards. They want us to go forwards, and they're very upset that we're not doing that.
And are people energized, do you think?
Oh, very energized, very energized.
People who think the way you do.
Absolutely. I mean, there's work to be done. They want us to do it, and they want the chaos in Washington to stop.
All right. Well, Congresswoman Betty McCollum, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in. All right.